Welcome, everybody, to the Slack on Flicks podcast. I'm your host, film critic, and 16 News Now producer, Benjamin Slack. Well, just as I was about to say that we were going to have 3 outs this Halloween season when it came to spooky movies, Black Phone 2 arrived in theaters, and needless to say, it did not disappoint me.
Did you think our story was over? You're dead. You, of all people, know that dead is just a word.
This movie is going to scare whoever watches it out of their wits, and it's a good time while it's happening. The film picks up 3 years after the events of the Black Phone and follows Finn Blake as his sister Gwen's dreams tell her to return to an old winter camp, a location that connects both past and present, and where supernatural terror ensues with the infamous Grabber. This much more violent of a sequel might catch you off guard with the different direction that it takes. The franchise goes from a story that combines the horrors of The Shining and being kidnapped to a well-balanced combo of The Conjuring and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Mason Thames and Ethan Hawke return to their respective parts with ease and both make for believably scary performances with their own acting chops. But it's Madeleine McGraw who delivers a haunting performance that rivals those of classic final girls of horror movie history, packed with emotion and psychological drama. Black Phone 2 is the best movie released this Halloween season because it provides all who go to see it with what they're looking for in a movie during this time of the year, a scared straight slacker scale B+. Opening at number 1 this past weekend's box office charts, Black Phone 2 earned a deserved $26,500,000 take-in. Behind it was Tron Ares with an additional $11 million. Make sure to check out my interview with 16 News Now digital web guy Spencer Bueller, where we talk about the goods and bads of the Disney cult classic series. Number 3 at $6 million was a film you could argue came out at a time that just fit well for its topic. Like Freakier Friday, which go read my review and catch my episode on that film, Good Fortune takes a concept that's been done time and time again and uses it in a very interesting way. Let's check it out.
My life is just in the service of people like Jeff.
Arj, I'm Jeff, a pleasure.
The people who actually get to live.
Maybe I can show you that life is not all it's cracked up to be.
The film follows Arj, who's at the end of his road when it comes to making a living. This attracts a guardian angel named Gabriel, who decides to show him what his life would be like if he had everything he hoped for, so he switches the lives of Arj and his former employer, Jeff. It's through the next hour we as an audience are taken down a road of a sentimental and realistic look at the working class compared to the uppers, with comedy scattered throughout. While the message is known from the start and presented in a way for viewers to understand, it might be a little too heavy with its nail on the head. However, it is a good approach to show others a serious subject and delivers on the laughs that you're expecting from this kind of on-screen talent. A passing slacker scale C+. And that's going to do it for the reviews this week on the Slack on Flicks podcast. Make sure to tune in next week because I'm not going to lie, I am very excited for next week for a film that's having a limited release in theaters because it's actually going to be streaming on Netflix a few weeks after. We are going to be talking about the remake of Frankenstein, starring Oscar Isaac, directed by Guillermo del Toro. If you know me personally, then you know that I am a massive Universal Classic Monsters fan. They're my favorite franchise of all time, the series from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. They were my introduction to film, my introduction to horror. I think there's nothing that can be topped with creativity, storylines. They were even the first to pioneer a cinematic universe. All 30 of those films that are in that franchise, or arguably 25, I my own way of the way I would stack the films and consider part of the Universal Monsters canon. I love it, and anytime something related comes out about the subject, I'm always first to get my behind in a theater seat to see them on the big screen. This is no exception because Frankenstein is arguably the most popular character of the whole classic Monsters lineup, or I should say Frankenstein's monster. It's a big pet peeve of mine too. I'll probably go into it next week's episode. But also next week, we got the release of the Bruce Springsteen biopic that's coming out, and a film that's going to be crossing over, not in a horror movie sense, but horror movie actors, you could say. We'll talk about it all next week. But thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode. Remember, you can read my full reviews by going to WNDU.com, clicking on the entertainment tab. You can also find my full previous podcast episodes there, as well as on YouTube as well. I'm Benjamin Slack. Thank you guys for watching.